everyone, welcome back to my channel. I'm Linda, the scrapbooking photographer, and today you're joining me on a coast to coast collaboration YouTube hop. So coast to coast collaboration is run out of America by Kim Ferguson and Amanda Ross, and each month we get a set of prompts from the Close to My Heart Stories by Stacy deck. So we've got 4 prompts to work towards. And the prompts for this month came out as family, quote, pocket and technique. So then you can dive into them a little more and see what the clues are they've given you. So this is a good one because it starts with your photo, which I always think is a good place to start. And it's giving you an option of parents, spouse, siblings, grandparents, pets, traditions, history or reunions. So I chose my parents and this photo of them celebrating their 50th wedding anniversary in 2004. So let's go on to another one. Quote. So something from a movie, a book, sayings, idioms, prompts, slang or scripture. So this area provided me with the most difficulty this month, I have to say, and I have been researching 50th wedding quotes, sayings, things to say to your parents, things to say to your spouse, all sorts of different bits and pieces. So I did in the end go with a saying, I guess, which is 2 hearts, 1 love. And I think that pretty much sums up 50 years of marriage. The third area is pocket, paper crafted, flip flaps, pocket plus, envelope or pocket cards. So I have included an envelope which I cut out on my Cricut from the digital artwork included in the Home for Christmas range of products. And technique, stamping, embossing, tearing, mixed media, folding, distressing, journaling. This is the easiest one this month. So I am including some journaling, obviously. I'll be folding my envelope. So I'm doing quite a few of these and I'm probably stamping and embossing perhaps. So if you use the hashtag C2C set23, you will find all of the videos that have used this hashtag in them. And you can also go to the Facebook page, which is Coast to Coast. And I'll put a link of that into the description below so that if you want to play along, feel free to join us. Okay, so let's put that to one side and see what else we've got. I'm going to be working with the Posset papers. So I have a thin cut, which I've recently purchased. It's still available online, although I don't think there's many left from Close to My Heart. And I just love this oval frame and the ornateness of it. And I thought it might work quite nicely there just to get rid of that bright light there and some of this white around here. Unfortunately, they were standing right in front of the mirror, but we can't do much about that. So I'm going to cut out a frame for them in that. And the colour scheme I'm using today is mist and shortbread. I quite like the shortbread to go with the gold, and I'll use some gold in there somewhere as well. So the first thing I will do is put this onto my Cuttlebug and cut one of those out. Okay, so isn't that beautiful? You can just see it's stitched around on the inside, around the oval, and you've got this lovely ornate backing. So that will do really nicely for them there, and I can just cut around the back. Now, to just dress that up a little bit, I'm going to use gold shimmer brush and just paint over this. You probably can't see what I'm doing there, but I'll show you in a minute. If you haven't seen the shimmer brushes before, they are amazing. They come in a variety of colours, but this gold one is just beautiful. Okay, so it does have a few little brush strokes that you can see at the moment, but when it dries, you'll end up with that glittery gold. Can you see that on the close up there? Using just a normal black felt tip pen, I've gone round underneath just to mark
where I need to cut for that photo to fit in the oval frame. And just using my scissors, I'll make that into a very rough oval, and then, a bit of a cameo appearance there from Morty. And then I can stick the frame together and get it ready for the papers. So I'd like some strips of this cassette paper. So I've made 2 strips that are 5 inches wide, and that just fits the title in nicely on the top, and then the envelope will go on the bottom part. But before I stick it all together, I want to do a little bit of embossing in the background on those strips of white. And this is my favourite stamp at the moment, which is a nice distressed look. And using the Versamark ink pad, I'm just going to stamp my way across those 3 areas that I marked with the pencil, so that I can then dribble the gold embossing powder over the 3 areas and roll it around to get some good coverage. Now I have got a piece of scrap paper in the background to catch all the bits that fall off. It never seems to catch all of it, but it does a good job. And then I can scoop it up, pour it back on, and do that a couple of times to get some good coverage on top of the white daisy. And then scoop it up one last time and put the excess back in the bottle. Using the heat gun then, I can dry it all off, and it always amazes me how it changes from the powder to the gold metallic look, which I just love. So when that's all dry, I can bring back the strips of cassette paper, and you can see that we've got a nice golden background behind them. So on top of each strip, I'm using a piece of mist, a piece of shortbread, and a piece of vellum. And I've trimmed them so that they sit within each other and nest quite nicely and overlap, and I'll do the exact same thing on the bottom strip, but in reverse. I quite like the way that the pieces of paper are overlapping and everything's kind of linking together. So the gold glitter paper behind the photo just adds to that and links the top with the bottom. The envelope that I'm currently folding is from the digital artwork for Home for Christmas. Because it's an SVG file, you can make it any size you want. So this is my second attempt because the first one was way too big. And I'm going to have a little piece of journaling coming out of that envelope. Now I'm just putting that bottom panel together with all the bits the same as the top. And while I'm doing that, it's a good opportunity just to remind you that this is part of a hop. So other people will have different interpretations of using the prompts that we were given. So do make sure that you watch all of the videos to get loads of inspiration of different things that you can do. When I'm putting this top panel together and sticking it down, I decide that the piece of shortbread is just a little bit too wide because I want that title to be completely on the mist side. So I take about ½ an inch off, which means I have to do the same at the bottom as well. But it means that that fits much better on top of the vellum. And then I can do exactly the same thing down the bottom. So the panels are identical, just in reverse. So I can skip forward to when that is all complete. The next thing I'm going to do is use the gloss gilt spray to just tap some drops over the top of the vellum sheets. I find that tapping it off the edge of the nozzle with a brush handle works better than the spray. It makes it a more sparse drop and a little bit more subtle. So while that's drying, I'll stick this title together, which was printed off my Cricut machine, and I've done an offset in the mist, which just means getting that outline behind it to hang it all together. And it helps to know where to put the letters, and it all comes together quite nicely. It also means that you've only got 2 pieces to bring into the layout, and a lot easier to position it into that place where I wanted it to go on top of the mist. So that's my saying to satisfy that requirement: 2 hearts, 1 love. Next I'll get the envelope folded up and stuck together, ready to go onto that right hand side, but I'll just get the photo in first, position that gold glitter paper to link the two, top and the bottom together, and then the photo, which satisfies another requirement of our 4 prompts, being the appearance. And then the envelope can go down there, which satisfies the folding part of the prompts, and then the journaling will go in there on a little piece of shortbread. With that complete and in place, I can then add a few little stickers from a few different places. These ones come from the Cossette range. I've really just chosen the ones with the same colour tones as the layout. So a couple of flowers there, and then I've also gone looking through my stash to find other gold ones and found a couple of little butterflies in the Dream Maker set that I can pop around the place, and a couple of hearts, and also from a Valentine's pack we got earlier in the year. So a good mix and match. And then the final touch is a little butterfly made out of a thin cut, which just brings a little bit of solid mist up into that left hand corner, which I think balances quite nicely with the envelope on the bottom right. And a few stickles into the butterfly spine, and we're just about done. Thank you for watching today. I hope you've enjoyed the video. Many thanks to those of you who have already subscribed to my channel. Your support is really appreciated. If you haven't yet hit that subscribe button, then perhaps you'd like to do that today, and I'd love to have you follow along on my scrapbooking journey. Have a lovely day, everybody, and happy crafting.